Hey, what's going on? It's Case with Everyday Masters. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. It's time for another video. I knew 5 years ago when I started making videos that my story of what was happening to me and my beliefs on what's happening in the world was probably going to resonate with about 1% of the population. And 5 years later, I think I was pretty on point with that. It seems like about 1% of the people probably resonate with what I say. I'm going to start talking about the raw material, the law of one. And this is probably for about 1/3 of the 1%. So I guess what I'm saying is this is absolutely not for everybody. I came across this channeled information. It's 5 books you can get free online. Every one of the 5 books can be downloaded free. I came across this information like about 15 years ago. I guess I was not ready for that material. It just seemed really complicated and I don't know. I hadn't remembered who I am and why I'm here yet. So maybe that's another reason that it didn't resonate with me. Besides the fact that it's just so complicated and the terminology is just so seemingly unnecessary. And I have not read it all, and I will never probably read it all. It's like 1,000 pages. What I do is I watch a video of Scott Mandelker. I'll leave a link in the description. And this dude's made like 1,000 videos. And he reads the raw material and then gives his interpretation. I don't know, I kind of like just listening to him talk about it instead of me actually reading it. So I'm going to pick and choose like what I'm going to talk about in the Law of One. I'm not going to go through every question that was asked. So anyway, if you go to thelawofone.info, it has a search bar, so you can type in whatever you want to search for that was included into those 5 books. This video is going to be on the wonders, which is basically the volunteers, the star seeds, the light workers. They also refer to them as the brothers and sisters of sorrow, which is pretty interesting terminology, especially once you see in the context of how they talk about it. So yeah, so basically if you just go to thelawofone.info and you type in wonders, it comes up with 88 results. 88 times it was mentioned in these 5 books. I'm not going to talk about them all. I think that's unnecessary. I'm just going to talk about the ones that I resonate with. It's kind of interesting though. They talk about Nikola Tesla being a wonder, Albert Einstein. They talk about the Industrial Revolution was basically started with this influx of wonders that came in with these new ideas. Basically, I would say the Industrial Revolution and those ideas were just to give us more free time, instead of just like working nonstop to survive. You don't have time to have these deep thoughts and to contemplate why we're here, if you're working nonstop. Which is interesting because I think that the people that I talk to regarding this COVID thing we had these last 2 years, it allowed them the free time to start asking better questions. So it served its purpose. It was a really good thing for people to, hit the pause button on their chaotic life and to, ask better questions. So let's get into this. I'm trying to not ramble. I'm a big rambler. I can take a 10-minute video and talk about stuff for like 40 minutes. So I'm going to try to condense this down. I'm just going to start with 1226. And that is the question set. The question is, you spoke of wonders. Who are wonders? Where do they come from? And Raw says, and it's funny because when I read this the first time, and it says like all the questions start with, or all the answers start with Raw. I am Raw. And for some reason, like, the voice inside my head was like, I am raw. And actually, when you listen to Carla channeling it, it's like, I am raw. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny to listen to it versus the internal voice that I had in my head. Okay, so imagine, if you will, the sands of your shores, as countless as the grains of sand are the sources of intelligent infinity. When a social memory complex has achieved its complete understanding of its desire, it may conclude that its desire is service to others, with the distortion towards reaching their hand, figuratively, to entities who call for aid. So basically what that means is, we've agreed to go through these experiences, through these densities. Right now we're in the fourth density, but we're, like the last 25,000 years, we've been in the third density, and we are graduating to the fourth density. So you can graduate to the fourth density positive or the fourth density negative, whatever path you're on. So once you graduate and you go to the next density, you can say, you know what? I really want to go back and help the beings or the souls or whatever you want to call it, to help them graduate also. And basically that's what the volunteers are, the wonders. They are beings that have graduated, whether they're in the fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh density, and they've decided to come back and help with this transition that we're going through right now. So back to this. These entities, whom you may call the brothers and sisters of sorrow, move towards this calling of sorrow. These entities are from all reaches of the infinite creation and bound together by the desire to serve in this distortion. So if you're into things like Dolores Cannon, and she talks a lot about the call was sent out. I'm not sure exactly when this is. It was probably like the 40s, maybe like World War II, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was when the atom bomb went off. But a call was sent out from Gaia. We need help. Now, Gaia doesn't need help. Gaia is basically making her transition whether we come or not. So it's really basically she's saying, hey man, I'm getting ready to move to my next density, but the beings on my planet, the ones living on me, dude, they're not ready. They need help. They're not going to graduate, and they will have to repeat the third density experience. So, and another thing, it says, these entities are from all reaches of the infinite creation. And what that means is dude, these volunteers, they've come from all throughout the universe. I mean, every possible species probably has one of their species represent here on this planet, helping out with this transition. So, we might all look human, but the volunteers are from a variety of species throughout the galaxy. So, question 1228. Are most of these from the fourth density? What density do they come from? Few there are of fourth density. The largest number of wonders, as you call them, are of the sixth density. The desire to serve must be distorted towards a great deal of purity of mind and what you may call foolhardiness or bravery. I love this part, because this is basically saying that, dude, even when you've graduated and you decide to come back to help out with this shift, dude, you're not guaranteed. You have to be brave, because you can get lost down here. You know what I mean? The programming and this dense third density reality, dude, it's tough. The programming's thick, and you can easily forget who you are and your mission down here. The challenge / danger of the wonder is that it will forget its mission, become karmically involved, and thus swept into the maelstrom from which it is incarnated to aid the destruction. So that's the problem. In fact, I think that's one of my roles, is to help remind the wonders who they are and why they're here. You can easily forget who you are. And I'll tell a quick story. I had a friend in town a couple weeks ago, and we were talking, And I just kept being positive. Like he kept talking about how this is a struggle down here and how challenging it is. And I just don't see it that way. And so I just kept, kind of being positive with my responses. And he said, it's funny. It's like you've read the end of the book. It's like you know what's going to happen. And when he said that, I remember in 2013, I had an experience that it was one of the most profound experiences I'd ever had. No drugs involved at all. I was in this barn by myself, and I had been talking to my higher self and talking to the universe. And when I was leaving the barn, these frequencies became so strong, I had to stop, and something crazy was happening to me. And I literally started crying, and I went down on my knees. Now, you've heard of people when they have a past life experience and their life flashes before their eyes, and they see how they interacted with everybody, and they see it from those other people's experiences, and they just see their whole life that they've already lived. Well, this was kind of like that, except I literally was being shown the future, and it was like just flashing and just coming on to me. And I just remember just crying out of joy because I had seen the end, and everything was perfect. And so I remember I went in to my wife, and I was trying to tell her this experience, and I just remember how happy I was. And the funny thing is, I had completely forgot about that. How do you forget about an experience that is so life-changing and so profound? That's what they're talking about here, man. You can forget your mission. It's so thick down here that you can have an experience like I had, and a week later you can forget that it even happened. That is why people wake up and they get sucked back. It's challenging, dude. It's challenging. And to be honest with you, the only reason I walk in such a knowing, and the only reason I am kind of continually happy and things really don't get to me is because of these frequencies. It's because they are so strong that they don't let me forget who I am. And because I'm telling you, dude, if I did not feel these frequencies like I feel them, dude, I wouldn't be who I am. I really would not. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but it's to me, I am so grateful for following the breadcrumbs of my life that led me to remember my mission, to help people remember and to help people heal during this really, really important time we're going through. Okay, question 1230. Do any of these wonders have physical ailments in this Earth situation? Due to the extreme variance between the vibratory distortions of third density and those of more dense densities. Now, you would think that the fourth density would be thicker and the fifth density would be even more thicker. It's the opposite. Don't ask me how, but actually the why is probably in the law of one in these books, but I haven't read that far. So, but you would think that it would be more of a challenge, but it actually, fourth density is lighter, and fifth density is lighter, and sixth density, and so on. So anyway, back to this. Due to the extreme variance between the vibratory distortions of third density and those of the more dense densities, if you will, wonders have as a general rule some form of handicap, difficulty, or feeling of alienation which is severe. The most common of these difficulties are alienation, the reaction against the planetary vibration by personality disorders, as you would call them, the body complex ailments indicating difficulty in adjustment to the planetary vibrations, such as allergies, as you call them. Basically what it's saying is most wonders, volunteers, starseeds, they have this overwhelming feeling of alienation. They feel like they don't belong. this place doesn't make sense. Because if you're coming back to this third density, you're in a place of love, of lightness, of compassion, like everybody's on the same page. But when you come here, dude, and you see people starving and wars and greed and how much control is going on, dude, it's like we're allergic to it. It really is. And people feel alienated. And then they mentioned that, one of the main physical ailments is allergies. It's literally like we're allergic to this vibration. I mean, it just doesn't feel right. I kind of liked it because I don't really have the alienation thing. I do like to be alone. I prefer to be alone. But, I love people and I can be around whoever. It's not, But I do have allergies, and I've always had allergies. And when I was a young kid, dude, I had crazy allergies. So I don't know. I could be projecting on this, but I don't know. I just find that interesting that allergies and this feeling of alienation are extremely common with wanderers. So let's go to 1323. How does a third density planet, which is the one we're on, I think we're actually in the fourth density right now. And it's not like something that happens overnight. I think this is like a 32-year kind of cycle, maybe 36 years. But dude, we're at the end of this shift. So that's why I feel like so many of these wanderers are waking up, because it's showtime and there's this sense of urgency. Like, dude, I have to heal. I got to get my shit together. Or if you've already healed and you got your shit together, I need to help others wake up. And I do feel that urgency with the people I talk to. And I will say that a lot of the people that I have sessions with, they do have this feeling of alienation with them. Okay, the answer. The fourth density, as we have said, as regularized in its approach as the striking of a clock upon the hour. I love this. This is like clockwork. All the ancients knew that at this time, at the end of the last 25,000 year cycle, that we were shifting. Like that's how all the ancients knew about this time and this transition we were going through. It's like clockwork. The space-time of your solar system has enabled this planetary sphere to spiral into a space-time of a different vibrational configuration. Dude, this is what I'm saying about these frequencies. These frequencies have always been in this section of the galaxy, waiting to wake us up. At least that's what I get from this. That's my interpretation. This causes the planetary sphere to be able to be molded with these new distortions. However, the thought forms of your people during this transition period are such that the mind-body-spirit complexes of both individual and societies are scattered throughout the spectrum. Instead of being able to grasp the needle, shall we say, and point the compass in one direction. And that needle is knowing what is right and what is wrong for you. See, we are so misled. We are pulled in so many directions. If you're trying to find out what the truth is during these times, man, I wish you the best of luck. You will only know the truth of what's going on when your internal compass has been turned on. And if you haven't done the research and if you haven't did the work to turn this thing on, dude, you're going to be lost. You're going to be pulled in so many separate ways. And that's why we see people losing it right now. You know what? I'm going to quit rambling. I'm going to keep going. Thus, the entry into the vibration of love. And that's where we're going. We're going into the fourth density positive, and that is the density of love. That's when you use this to make the decisions in your life, not this. This was third density. This is fourth density. We need to move to the fourth density positive for this to graduate. Thus, the entry into the vibration of love, sometimes called by your people the vibration of understanding, is not effective with the present societal complex. Thus, the harvest shall be such that many will repeat the third density cycle. The energy of your wanderers, your teachers, and your adepts at this time are all bent upon increasing the harvest. However, there are few to harvest. I hate to say it, but I kind of believe this, man. I really believe that not too many people are going to graduate to the fourth density positive. We'll have to repeat the third density again. And, I'm not saying anything. I mean, I probably repeated the third density many times. I don't know. Who knows? I might not, I might have to repeat the third density. Who cares? Like, I'll just do it again. I don't even really care. Like, I'm just loving the experience on the planet right now. And one thing, when they talk about this harvest and they talk about the graduation from the third density to the fourth density, do you know who decides whether you graduated or not? Dude, it's you. It's the higher self you. It's the oversoul you. You decide if you're ready to go to fourth density positive. There's no other beings that are choosing whether you graduate or not. There are other beings trying to keep you confused so you won't graduate, but you'll just have to go through the third density cycle again, another 25,000 years, and you get another chance. I don't even really have a problem with that. You know what I mean? I have this feeling like I've already repeated third density a few times, and shit, if I want to do it again, then whatever. I don't know. I don't take this stuff it's not life and death to me. Like, it's not. What I have noticed lately is that people on earth take their beliefs, their truths really seriously. And that's probably not the best idea. Because I don't know if you've realized, but as you go through life, your beliefs evolve and they expand and they change. And when you start locking yourself into this is the truth, man, I wish you the best of luck. It reminds me of a video I made with my son, and I was talking about how your beliefs are beliefs that are absolutely creating our experience in life. Dude, they're not like truths. They're not like I guess in my video I was talking about how I treat my beliefs like Lego blocks. Like, if I believe something and all of a sudden I'm exposed to new information that expands that, dude, I will replace that belief with a new belief. Like, because we're expanding. You're supposed to constantly expand. And maybe that's one of the reasons that I'm into the raw material now. I don't know. It resonates with me, and I find it very interesting. I'm not saying anything is like the truth. There's only one truth. I just resonate with it, and I enjoy it. And I will say that this information, if you're not happy, this information probably isn't going to make you happy. But if you're already on your path and you're already feeling good, and you're interested in more details on what's happening and who you are and how this shift is happening, I do highly recommend this book.
Surfing on a wave of good feelings. Well, it's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A game, cause you know this party won't stop. We could never run out of time, sipping strawberry lime. You know I wanna share it with you.